één glim.
And I think we are live.
Yep.
I think so. Did we get a
Seems
notification?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. I'll turn my phone to silent.
What's a smart one? Let me do the exact same thing.
And let me also turn
Actually,
off the
put
sound.
it to silent.
So, welcome again to a new episode
Of the LAN Show. It's been a couple of weeks, almost 4.
4?
Well, the last one was the 24th of July, and it's the 21st of August.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So it's been a month. Damn it, it's empty. So, to start off, we'll start off with a channel update, I guess. No, what is this?
It's for your hands.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a. We just had KFC.
Which was very good, as always.
Really? I thought these were pepper satchels or something.
No, they are for your
Like,
hands.
I've been throwing them away for years because I thought they were pepper satchels.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding you. I've been throwing these away, like, always I forget KFC.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
No, that's the nice thing about KFC, because you always get greasy hands, and then you have these little
And I threw it next to them.
little things, and you can clean your hands. That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Honestly, I did not know that. What the hell?
Well, only took you 30 years.
Yeah, well, I don't go to KFC that often, so I didn't know that. So back to the channel update. Something's going wrong. I don't know why.
It doesn't seem to be dropping any frames or whatever. A little bit. We're testing to see how high we can take the quality of the stream. So we've adjusted some settings over the last time. It seems
We just dropped a significant amount of
we
frames.
just dropped frames. Yeah.
Let me adjust it a little bit down.
You can do that on the fly.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna try though. And that actually seems to be working.
Seems to be working.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We're no longer dropping frames, see? It's stuck on
Yeah.
209. Yeah. Okay. So, back to the channel update. So, we've been really busy, or I've been really busy with this. So, we got new artwork finally for the channel, which is above the YouTube banner. We've actually got a new camera, which cost me an arm and a leg, but we'll hopefully get our videos out better and faster, better quality and out faster. So it's a Nikon. It's over there. I don't think we're dropping frames again. Damn it. We are. Well, we're not dropping them as much anymore. So I'm fine with this. I'm pretty sure this should be okay. Yeah, it's in there. The right
in the
back.
bag.
Yeah. So
You want to show it?
we can grab it.
It's really light.
You think? I don't even know what lens is attached. Oh, it's so the new camera, which will do which is going to be used for most of the filming now. Still need a couple of lenses for it to make life a little bit easier, especially when winter comes, because I'll need some prime lenses, a 35mm and a 55mm lens for it. It's an APS-C sensor. It's a Nikon D7500, so it's an APS-C sensor, so it's a crop sensor. So I might decide to go full frame lenses for these. I'm not sure yet. So for future upgrades, it all depends on if we're gonna stick with Nikon as a video camera, which we probably won't. But I'll keep using it as a photography camera for a long time. I'm really impressed by the quality of the photos that have been coming out of it. So that's the new camera. So we've discussed that part.
Yep.
And now, yeah, well, I haven't been able to I still haven't been able to get any videos really out, because my knee still hasn't healed, my tailbone still hasn't healed. So I have not been able to do the stuff I wanted to do, and especially my knee's been really bad. But, so that stopped us. We did put out the one video, which was a little bit of a sneak preview for next season. I'm not really happy with the quality of that. I'm happy with the image quality. It was shot on this the new camera, but I wasn't happy on the total performance. I definitely need to spend a lot more time in front of a camera, and I definitely need to practice my my speaking in front of a camera, me speaking in front of a camera.
Well, it should come naturally at some point.
It should. Like, this is pretty natural, but that's probably because I'm talking to you and to nobody.
I don't know. I think if you do a video, you have to talk about a specific thing, and if you're talking here, you're just talking off the top of your mind, basically, which is a lot easier.
Well, not really, because I did screw it. No, I didn't screw it up, but like the snowboard preview video was pretty much off the top of my head, but I still felt like I was using the wrong words. I wasn't fluent enough. So that bothers me a little bit.
Well, it was so far. It was definitely the best video you put out there. It was really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could definitely was a very big improvement. Yeah.
Something happened.
What?
We spiked.
Yeah. One
Who
extra
spiked?
viewer.
Yeah, but who? 1, 2.
Yeah. Could actually be somebody watching.
All right. Well, oh, we actually got a warning here.
No, it's being buffered for viewers.
Well, okay, then that shouldn't be a problem, I guess.
You're still not dropping a lot.
But I'm still dropping a little bit. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit more. Let's go down to... Let's see if that helps a little bit. So, next up, well, because we've actually had too much time between these topics are not completely factual and actual anymore. Well, they're factual, but no longer actual anymore.
Good save.
Yeah. Well, let's first bring up... Oh, we've been starting to use Twitter, so a lot, actually. So if you want to stay in touch with us or have any... requests or our comments or whatever, you can actually hit us up on Twitter. And let me just show you Twitter. Well, you know what it is, Twitter. I certainly hope so, but there we go. This is let's see. We're not showing anything that we're not supposed to. I'm assuming. Let's just close that off and transition it in. So, our Twitter, we've been actively trying to use it as much as possible. So, if you want to, you can hit us up there.
With the very nice channel art.
Yeah, we're really happy about that. I might recommend you guys the guy who made this for us. We used Fiverr to get in touch, and I'm really happy. I was a little bit concerned, but in the end, I'm probably gonna do a winter version of this. I'm gonna ask him to do a winter version with mountains or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, it would be nice.
So yeah, I'm actually really happy about that.
YouTube now says that we have an excellent connection.
Well, okay, so my adjustment worked.
Yep, it did.
Twitter, I'm hoping to spool up the use of Instagram as well, but you can find it all on top of the channel art and YouTube with all the linkies. So feel free to to contact us. So back to what we were hoping to discuss as well. Let's start with the doom and gloom right now. Like, we love this planet and we wish there was more of this planet, and we're really wrecking it because in June what was it, June?
Yeah, June, the hottest month on record.
Yeah, June was the hottest
Ever.
month on record ever. Worldwide. Can you imagine that? Well, I can, because...
Well, I also heard something quite interesting as well. Is I do a lot of work in Portugal, and the people there, they told me that they haven't actually had any summer whatsoever yet. It's only been raining and pretty cold and pretty windy, and they think it's going to be a very, very, very hot sort of after summer, which is strange because it should be right around 38, 40 degrees right there. Now it's only maybe 20, 25. It's
I'll take 28 though.
So they'll probably see temperatures as high as 32 degrees Celsius in November, which is crazy. And also the sea temperature is very, very low at this moment. Normally it's quite warm already at this time of year, but right now it's just cold, very cold.
Well, it's not just Portugal. Like, right here where we are, I've been seeing with my own eyes the climate change. Like, it's never been this hot in this country.
No.
It's never rained as hard as it does the moment it starts raining.
Yep.
Like, there's no more light showers. It's just a torrential downpour.
Yep. Like cloudbursts almost.
Yeah, it's nothing like I've ever seen before. And when we have tornadoes now.
Yeah, we had a...
Like 2 weeks ago, we had like four tornadoes in like 3 days.
Yeah. Well, they're still pretty small, but...
that doesn't matter.
It's still strange, because they are very, very, very rare...
They were rare.
Thing
like
in the Netherlands, because you don't really have those currents that come together that should form these tornadoes. But now you do. Actually, in the middle of Amsterdam, they had the best video.
Yeah. Well, the ones off the...
But that actually was a water spout.
It's the same thing. It's a tornado on water.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And
dynamics are slightly different, but...
And this the same thing, like, actually the day you were supposed to come to do the LAN Show, but you didn't. Which happens a lot, by the way. A lot. I was actually planning on going to The Hague in the morning to shoot some video.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't because I was too lazy. I couldn't get myself out of bed.
I know that feeling.
And later that afternoon, there were the water spouts, the tornadoes, off the coast in Scheveningen.
I missed that.
Well, I missed that as well. Like, if I would have gone, I would have probably seen them, because it was happening exactly where I wanted to shoot.
Where you wanted to go.
Yeah. So that was... I've never...
I've always wanted to see one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see one as well. But, like, they happened, like, once every decade, and now we had 4 in 3 days.
Yeah, it's
so you can say whatever you want, but it's real. And if you really think it's not real, you need to get your...
You need to get your eyes checked.
Or something like this. This actually is a nice segue into another topic I wanted to discuss, which is climate denial. How can people still deny it exists.
The only reason I see them denying it is because they have a stake in denying it, basically.
But how can you have a stake in denying
and
it?
then you have a lot of people, well, money wise, and then you have a lot of people that are just sheep, and they think, oh, every single institution is betraying us, and they always lie, so probably that's a lie as well. You know, it's the adoption of an idea by people who have a monetary stake in keeping, the whole climate change thing, and all the regulation that go with it, to keep it off for as long as possible so they can make as much money as possible. And then you have a lot of people who are just too stupid to realize that they are being played. I mean,
the reason I put this on here was because of this Reddit thread on our World News. Is it World News? Yes, World News, which had a BBC, and I'm not the biggest fan of the BBC, but again, it's pretty much normal journalism, so it's not like any.
See? So go down a little bit. Oil-producing countries are trying to erase the science on keeping the world's temperatures below 1.5 C. Oil-producing countries, which is, like I said, if you have a stake in keeping the whole climate change thing off as long as possible, which are oil-producing countries.
Yeah, but the fact that those nations are actually trying to do that at the UN, I find
They don't. I mean, that's. I've always tried to refrain a little bit from talking about politics.
Yeah, I do too.
On this show, but basically, it's just a deterioration of normal forms of. I don't know, communication between countries and what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. Degradation of norms, basically. I mean, people just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's scary, though.
It is. But
it's very scary.
Sooner or later, you're gonna have a lot of problems, and then it will be undeniable. But then these people will have done so much damage already that you need to hope that the whole new energy business is such a lucrative business that it sort of solves itself. If they see that it's more profitable than oil and coal and all these other things, then you can hope that it sort of changes itself. And it's becoming a multi-trillion-dollar business already.
Yeah.
But it needs to go even further than that.
And this brings me to the next point.
The trends. Pray for Amazonas, Amazon rainforest. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, like I've put this on the list today. Actually, it's not.
I actually thought it was Amazon.
Oh no, it's actually the Amazon, which has been on fire for 16 days and nobody has tried to put it out.
I know. So it's I'll try to refrain from politics again, but
let's refrain from it. We just want to put it on there. Like, there's some pretty nasty stuff going on, and people need to pay attention if we want to keep enjoying this planet. See, that's not a political way of saying it.
It's my father always says that it's humankind's mistake or folly or whatever you want to call it, that human beings can only think in a span of I think most people can think in a span of maybe 10 to 15 years. Then you have maybe slightly more intelligent people who can think about a span maybe as long as their own lives. But there are very few people who can actually see it in a span of much bigger, because I mean we only live to maybe 90 years, 80 to 90 years, which is like a drop in a bucket of water of time, basically. And if you look at history and all the natural climate change that has occurred, it occurs pretty fast on that scale. But for us, because we only live for such a short time, for us it takes ages, and a lot of people just think, well, that's never going to happen to me, or it's always been like this. And then these people are maybe 20 years old. It's always been like this, so why do I have to do anything differently? People cannot think on a long-term basis.
Yeah, I think I fear you might be right though. So
and luckily there's I don't know, there's a lot of information sharing on the internet, and you have to just hope that the advocates for climate change will win it in the end with rationale and reasoning over the clearly only in it for the money climate deniers.
Yeah.
And if not, well, that's another, well, that's a nice thing for us, so we won't have to deal with it. You see,
well, at this rate, we won't have to deal with it.
But that's the same thinking, actually, as.
And the problem is, we're already dealing with it.
Nothing terrible has happened yet.
Nothing.
The thing is I think the Caribbeans are very lucky this year because you have El Nino this year, so there's not a lot of tropical storm activity on the Atlantic Ocean.
Let me see if I can find it.
But 2 years ago, there was a hurricane season which also topped everything. It cost so many lives, and it was so devastating. I think what's that US, not a state but a state thing?
Puerto
Rico is still recovering from that, and that was 2 years ago.
I'm like you said, we're not seeing anything bad, but we are. Like, well, within 30 years,
we don't see any immediate effects yet where we live.
Look fucking outside!
I know, but that's, a little bit more rain or whatever. That's not gonna convince people of something.
Okay, well, I'm trying to find out. I saw this news.
It's also a thing that we humans do, is that it needs to go very, very wrong in order for us to say, okay, now we need to change something. Which is almost always too late.
Where is it? I can't find the article.
Oh, and the heat wave, that's another nice thing. The heat wave that went over Europe, it eventually moved over Greenland.
Yeah,
and it melted so much ice.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It melted so much ice that we were actually able to see an increase in ocean levels.
The thing is, you and I, we read the news and we pay attention to that, but how many people do you know in your extended circle that do that, or that think, this is bad, or actually take action on it and say, okay, because I think you guys are using as little plastic as possible.
Yeah,
right?
We've tried to eliminate any plastic use. As much as plastic as is humanly possible.
Out of a total of this many people, only this many people will do that.
Yeah, but it's something so easy.
I know. But people are very, spoiled, I guess.
But okay, that brings me to, of course, in June it was also Earth Overshoot Day. Let's find out if we can still find out what day it actually was. Because we got another segue. Okay, earthovershootday.org. When was it?
July 29th.
July 29th. We've exhausted all the biological resource our planet can renew in a year. I found that... I knew this existed because I had seen it a couple of times earlier in my life, but it had completely slipped my mind. and I can't remember seeing any of it last year.
So it starts. So what? It starts counting at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So after 7 months, or actually 6 months and 29 days,
we have used up more biological resource than the planet can produce in a full 12 months. That means right now, for the remaining 6 months of the year,
we'll be running on a deficit.
Yeah.
It actually says it. The global ecological deficit. Yeah.
Like I said, I knew this existed, but this year, because we've been pushing this day earlier and earlier in the year on year apparently. By the way, it's very rude to talk about something and not show it. Earth Overshoot Day. And honestly, this is something that has been on my mind for a long time now. Well, actually, since this happened, so almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to. I need to do more. I feel like I need to do more. I don't know how yet, but I feel I need to do more. So if I travel, I feel I need to do it as climate neutral as possible. If we're producing content that people will want to watch, I want it to be fun. I want it to be informative. I want it to look good, but I also want to do it in such a way that we have as little impact as possible, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I don't want to be a hypocrite or anything, because I really want to do what we're trying to do, but I also want to do it with as little impact as possible.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure this day, at least I try not to contribute to making this day happen
Sooner.
earlier
Yeah.
in the year. Okay, well this is
A 104% increase in world population since 1970.
Yeah, this is becoming too depressing. I'm switching that off. Sorry. It's too depressing. I want to talk about fun stuff now, because I think we've spent way too much time talking about depressing stuff. So let's see, what was other big news that happened in the last month? The Musk Neuralink. What was the big news about that? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember Neuralink. What was the new? Was it really this? Yeah, it could have been this. No, I don't think so. Well, for those who don't know, and if you ever watch this video, there's a third person among us. He's called. That was my watch. So hello. Can we stop? Yep. Thank you. John, and John only appears. Well, doesn't appear because he's behind the screen. I was gonna say appears behind the screen. Why? He's only behind the scenes. That's the only behind the scenes, but he is. He has some disabilities. That means he's wheelchair bound, and he really likes the Neuralink concept because it will enable people who have issues, bodily issues, to potentially be far more productive in society.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was the reason why we actually had it in here. But honestly, it's not showing the news I thought that would pop up. So let's see. What is Ars Technica saying? Astral blocks. That's the wrong. Merging your brain with yeah, I don't remember. But I think it's a really interesting company, and I think it's needed.
Yes. Such companies are always needed, but
I'm sorry.
AI is but I think Elon Musk knows that there are risks to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm shooting blanks right now. What it was supposed to be entailing.
I don't know. I missed it.
Yeah, so what else do we have? Well,
I see ski season.
well, it's coming up fast, and I hope I'll be healed in time, but a lot of people don't realize that for the Northern Hemisphere, we're about a month away from en masse going back to the mountains for skiing and snowboarding.
In 1 month.
In 1 month, you're at the end of September. Early October, some of the glaciers reopen. So we're actually fast approaching it. Like all the brands, all the retail, all the rental are right now getting their supplies in, preparing for winter. So it's a big deal. On the snowboard front, a lot of interesting developments have happened. Some shifting in ownership of certain companies,
Yep.
and as I discussed in the previous video we posted. So a lot of that brand doesn't even exist anymore. That's behind us. That's the Flow Darwin from a couple of years ago.
Flow doesn't exist anymore?
No, there's a snowboard brand, a snowboard binding brand. Yes.
It's only bindings now.
Needacker bought them,
Mm-hmm.
and they discontinued their snowboard line and merged it with Needacker's personal own brand, own line.
Yeah.
But the bindings are still called Flow.
Mm.
But that specific board is no longer produced or made. It's such a nice looking board though.
It is.
I really love that board.
Yeah. I didn't know you had that one.
It's actually the last of my own boards I've ridden recently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't ridden any of my own boards in a while, to be honest. I don't have to. So they just go to the attic and I don't touch them at the moment. So what was I going to say? Oh well, it's soon we'll be having the winter again. I just hope my knee is healed in time to actually be able to go snowboarding and skiing and do what I want to do for the winter and get a lot of snowboard reviews out. Like I've been really looking forward to do some Lip Tech reviews with Lip Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I might want to do GNU as well, but I need my knee healthy and I need snow. I definitely need snow. Well, we can do an indoor as well, but it's not the same.
No, it's not the same.
We can do it.
It's not the same to ride and it's not the same to watch either.
We'll do it anyways, probably with some simpler boards, but we really need snow, and we need a lot of snow early in the year.
Yeah.
And we just need to go.
Well, it's also been record snow years for the past few years, or at least the snow dumps have been completely crazy.
Yeah, but that has happened twice in the last 10, so don't get your hopes up. At least in Europe.
Might be 3 now. Coming.
No, I
winter.
honestly don't see it happening. I'm not sure though. I need to look up the weather forecasts. Weather forecast. No, I don't know why you're using your phone like you got a computer on that side.
Well, you're using the mouse and the.
I started using it after you grabbed your phone.
True.
Let's see if there's anything interesting on here.
I think on this website they are just enjoying summer.
Well, Google's not working either. Google's not helpful. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just hope we'll be able to put out a lot of videos that we want to. A video I'm 100% doing is the new Jones flagship, because I have to do that. Like, I own literally a handful of flagships, and I really want to experience this completely new flagship now. Like, I'm really excited about that. I don't know what to expect of it. Because it's a new shape, new top sheet, new core design, partial core design. I don't think it's a complete redesign. I need to look that up. So I'm really looking forward to riding that. And comparing it to the original flagship. Like my oldest flagship is the original. How it was designed and released.
A long time ago.
10 years ago, basically. And mine right now, it's the black one over there, is which should be 6 or something, 6 years or 7 years old,
Yeah,
right now. So I'm really looking forward to comparing those two. And actually, my other one's also the same design because it doesn't have the new nose. That one, I don't have the spoon nose. 2 years ago, Jones introduced the spoon nose, which was a spoon shape in the nose that allowed it for easier initiating turns, float, and less edge catching. And I've ridden it a lot because I've used it from Jones for a lot of different things, but I have not. I have ridden it, but what was I going to say? I have not. Well, I don't own it. That's what I was going to say. I don't own a flagship with the spoon nose. I only have the old school flagships. So I'm really looking forward to how the difference is from going from the old school flagship to the brand new flagship that is, well, on the southern hemisphere already on the slopes. Yep. So there's that. What else?
I hope to be able to go next year as well. But that will be in the beginning of next year.
Well, if I'm...
Or we have to drive somewhere.
Yeah, we're probably just going to do that.
Well, there's nothing really much to report about Formula 1 because I think we already... Oh, we didn't review
Of course
the last
not. No,
race.
there were still races afterwards. But I don't want to discuss...
No, only Hungary.
Yeah, so there were still races afterwards, after the last show.
Mm.
Well, I don't think there's much for Formula 1.
But it's a summer break, so it will be interesting to see what Mercedes is going to do with Bottas.
I won't be interested in that. I hate that team.
Well, if they drop Bottas, it might cause a lot of movement, let's say, in the driver lineups of various teams.
Oh, this is gonna suck. Sorry, guys.
Hay fever.
This is definitely my hay fever. Yeah. Oh, I think I forgot my meds today again.
That's pretty stupid.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I don't even know what to talk about with the Formula 1 at this point, to be honest.
Well, there's nothing to talk about. It's the summer break.
Well, Gasly getting sacked.
Oh right.
Something.
It's not like that wasn't expected. It's funny that Helmut Marko first denies it and then does it.
Does it like 2 weeks later.
That's really, really funny. But I don't know. I've rarely seen such a huge gap between two different drivers in the same machinery. Rarely ever.
Have you heard the rumor? Where is it? Did I see the rumor here?
What rumor?
That Alonso might be going up for Dakar.
Yeah. Well, he's deciding his next career move.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
I found that interesting. I don't know why he would do that. I've personally, there are Dakar winners well into their 60s, I think. So I've probably focused on Indy.
It's just another thing to add to his tally of whatever he's won.
Yeah, but I thought I'm still pretty convinced he wants the Triple Crown.
Of course he does, but he missed out last year, so we have to try next year.
Yeah, but pretty much any Formula 1 driver recently who did their hands on rally driving didn't really end well. Kimi wrecked a couple of cars. Kubica lost half his hand. So, and people really often die at Dakar. So, I would probably focus on getting the Indy first and then the rest. That's just me, but I thought that was a pretty interesting piece of information. Like, I like that. I like Dakar, but he's doing it for Toyota as well, probably.
Probably is.